Hey guys, Cyndi Williams here. It is Pep Talk Tuesday, and boy, do I have a doozy for you today. So, first of all, I have actually spent the last week in and out of ICU, the intensive care unit, with my dad, who's there. Yep, he's okay. So, one sec. Last month, he started having issues with his heart and back and forth a little bit to the hospital, but really came to a head this week. They couldn't control his heart rate, and he ended up having to have emergency surgery for a blood clot, and then they still couldn't control his heart rate, so he ended up having to get a pacemaker. So I like to use life as a teacher always and kind of think about what, as my player in this story, this piece of the puzzle, what am I supposed to learn from this? What am I supposed to take from this? And as I sat day in, day out in the ICU being exhausted, it's funny because when you go to the hospital, you guys know, if you've had friends or family, you sit there and you don't really do anything all day, and then you go home exhausted because mentally it's just a challenging situation. And, your heart is going out to your loved one and you're trying to help, and there's not much you can do a lot of times when you're in that situation. So as I sat in the hospital, I just, between my dad taking naps, getting care, I just started writing and journaling and thinking. And I remembered back, and what a lot of you don't know about me is I spent a lot of my childhood in hospitals. So at the age of 10, my mom was in her early 30s. She got really ill, and the doctors could not figure out what was going on. It took them months and months and months to figure it out. But she literally went from where I had to jog to keep up with her in the grocery store, right? Fast-paced, super mom, to a week later being in the hospital in a bedridden. And the doctors could not figure out what was going on. And this went on for months and months and months. So as a 10-year-old, I spent a lot of time, 10-year-old, 11-year-old, and even into 12, my mom was in and out of hospitals. And that became like my new normal. And a lot of more responsibility was put on me because my mom was at home. I would go to school, I would come home, I would make snacks and dinner for my little brother, little sister, and then we would go to the hospital and visit mom, and then we would come home, and the next day we'd do it all over. And on the weekends, we would go all day to the hospital. So I am not a stranger to hospitals. But I started reflecting back on that time in my childhood and how, sitting there in the hospital and being like, oh, I hate this place. And where does that come from? It comes from, it kind of stole a little bit of my childhood away. But although it was a great pain to me as a child, it was also my greatest gift for a few reasons. And that's where this magic kind of happens. So when I was 10, I really understood that tomorrow wasn't promised. My mom almost died twice while she was in the hospital. Both her lungs collapsed, and the doctor had to do the thing where they jam the thing in your lung and bring your mom back to life in front of your eyes. She flatlined, came back. I mean, the whole thing. And then she was in intensive care where she almost died another time. It's just bad stuff, right? Like a lot of that. But at 10 years old, I understood we all end up in the same place, which is gone from here. And while I was in that fear of that place as a child, that my mom would pass away, or I saw people in the hallway, I saw people crying. When you're living basically in the hospital, you start to recognize the grief on people's faces, or when they're getting the news of, like, say your goodbyes, and it's traumatic, right? But as a 10-year-old, when you're out there in the world as an adult and you're feeling good and you're feeling healthy, you think you have all this time. And you think, the world is your oyster, and I'll go after my dreams someday, and I'll do that someday, and someday I'm going to. As a 10-year-old, I understood that someday might never come. Tomorrow is not promised. And that was a gift to me, because as I get older, and eventually they did figure out what my mom had. It took her years to recover. She had to learn to walk again. I was taken out of school to be her primary caregiver for months and months and months. I would care for her during the day. Homework was sent home at night. I would help with my brother and sister. She had to rebuild every muscle in her body She couldn't go to the bathroom on her own. She couldn't take a shower on her own, none of that stuff. So I had to watch her go through that process. But in the understanding of that place where, when she got better and was feeling better, I looked at the world differently because I had that experience in my childhood, and that was such a gift. And I hope that this resonates with you on some level, because I was gifted that tragedy and that gift at the same time as a child. But as I went through my life, now that my mom's feeling better, not all the way better. She still always has that disease that she is manageable now. But as I approached adulthood, I was like, I'm going to do whatever I want with my life, and I'm going to do it today, because I don't know if tomorrow's coming. And I know that the beds are waiting at the hospital. And I know that everyone ends up in the graveyard or cremated, or like we're all going the same place. We don't like to talk about it. It's not a fun topic. But whatever your dream is, like, you guys know I coach on travel businesses. That's my thing. But I don't care if like making buttons or making art or singing, you want to join the circus. I don't care. Whatever your dream is, I want to encourage you, like, get out and do it today. Find out the next steps today. Don't let your some days become never, because that's what happens a lot of times. You get busy, or you have responsibilities. You have the fear of making mistakes. And by the way, another big theme is people get so caught up, and I'm going to make a mistake. I'm going to make a mistake. Yeah, you're going to make mistakes. Mistakes aren't the enemy. Fear is. You will miss out on 100% of the opportunities that you don't go after. Go after some, make some mistakes. I've made a ton of mistakes in my career and in my life, but as long as you're learning, you're getting to the next journey, and you're doing it bigger and you're doing it stronger. Mistakes are never the enemy. Life comes with a certain amount of risk. Life comes with a certain amount of mistake making. It is part of the process. Once you get that in your core, then the fear kind of goes away, and you can let the fear subside. Fear is a good thing because it keeps you from, stepping out into the, when a big truck's coming, stepping out into the street. So fear actually aids you to some degree, but if it's holding you back from becoming the greatest expression that you can be in this lifetime, then you have to take control over that and say, no more, no mas. Moving forward in terms of I'm going after my dreams today. So I just wanted to kind of share this with you today. I know this is kind of a heavy topic for Pep Talk Tuesday, but I've been in the ICU for a week with my dad, and he should be coming home in a day or two. I'm really pulling for that. But when you sit in that place, and it's a gift again that I was reminded of this, because I know those of you that are out there and you're in that paralyzing fear, and you want your dream, and you want to expand, and you want to go into that next thing, just do it. You have nothing you get one shot at this, guys. This is your life to make great. This is your life to screw up if you want to. This is your life to have fun. But don't miss out. Don't let the days pass by. Don't let your some days become no days. So get out there, live your dream, do your thing, guys. I love you as always. So much love, so much abundance. And this is Pep Talk Tuesday. So enjoy. Please post your comments below, or if you're watching this later, please click a CTR so I know this is valuable info for you. I love you guys. Bye.